We are joined by Michigan head coach Juwan Howard, along with students Hunter Dickinson and DeVante Jones. Coach Howard, if you can start with an opening statement, and then we'll take questions for the students.
First, I want to start by congratulating Indiana, their coaches, their players, for coming out and giving a very competitive game. They earned this victory for them. We fought hard from start to finish. There was a lot of teaching moments during that time. Unfortunately for us, down the stretch, excuse me, in the second half, for us, it didn't go in our favor. Unfortunately, we had some defensive breakdowns, but those all are teaching moments that we will learn and grow. If you have any questions?
Questions for the students, please raise your hand. I will call on you and we'll get a mic to you. We'll go over here on the right-hand side. Again, state your name and affiliation.
Tom Bruce, Sports Illustrated, Indiana. Hunter, you got a lot of good looks and got the ball down low a lot in the first half, but it seemed a lot of that kind of went away in the second half. Were they doing anything differently that made you, less able to get to a good position there in the second half?
Yeah, they were being a little bit more physical with me in the second half for sure. I just I just should have did a better job of, I guess, getting low and, really establishing position down there.
We'll go in the front row to Jeff on the left. It's not working. Give him the other mic, please.
Jeff Rabjohns, Pigs.com. Hunter, when a guy like Trace gets going in the second half, what are the things that make him capable of having a big half like he had today?
I mean, he's a good player, really athletic, really skilled around the rim, and so, when he gets it close to the basket in those positions like he did, it's easy for a really good player like him to score like that.
We'll go on the left-hand side.
Hey, DeVante, Ncaa, I'm live. Things were going so well for you guys until the wheels kind of came off there with about 11 minutes left. As the point guard, what were you seeing, especially offensively, that caused some of those problems?
Like Hunter said, they just came out being more physical than us. They brought more energy, more effort in the second half. On defense, we had like some mental breakdowns that just hurt us on offense as well. So just credit to Indiana.
We'll go all the way on the far right side.
Jamal Collier, ESPN. For either of you, you had, the end of the season there had some games without your coach on the sidelines. So maybe what was the thing you noticed the most, kind of with him back on the sidelines, that was different in game today?
Hunter, you start, and then we'll go to DeVante.
We were just happy to have our leader back.
Yeah, we felt the energy when he was back. You can see that in the first half. We came out with a lot of energy, just knowing that we had our coach back. So myself, I'm mad that we didn't get the W for him.
We'll go over on the left-hand side. First row and then second row.
Yeah, Rick Bozich, WDRB in Louisville. They went to a smaller, more mobile, athletic lineup in the second half, and you guys turned it over 10 times. Was that the reason why? Because of their different personnel?
Like I said, they came out playing more physical, they had more effort than us in the second half, and I take a lot of that blame, for the turnovers. I think I had, a lot of costly turnovers that I usually don't make, so I just put that on myself.
All right, we'll go in the second row, and then we'll take another question after that.
Dustin DePirac, Bloomington Herald-Times. For either one of you guys, how much did you see Xavier Johnson kind of change the second half of that game? Obviously, he was out a lot with foul trouble, and it seems he's obviously playing better than what you saw the first time. How did you kind of see him change that game late?
Just him making shots. His ability to make shots. It was just difficult. Just try to go under, and he'd knock a three down, or you go over. He'd be aggressive to the basket. So he just definitely brought a lot of energy. I feel like when he came back in the game, their energy picked up a lot. So I think he just brought energy.
Take one last question for the students. In the back row.
Hi, guys. Jennifer Hammond from Fox 2 Detroit. Hunter and DeVante, I'd love for you to each give an answer on this. Just kind of what the mood of the team is, where you guys feel like you are from a chemistry standpoint heading in now to the NCAA tournament?
Well, we definitely we're not happy with results. We feel like we had this game. We was up a lot, and we let it slip away. So we're definitely mad about that. But I feel like we're still together as a team. We're gonna always have each other back no matter what. So we're gonna get back home. Just get back to work. See how we can get better as a team, and just wait and see what happens Sunday.
Hunter?
Yeah, I think just probably disappointed in how we came out in the second half. We had high aspirations coming into the weekend, and so for us to, fall short so early is definitely disappointed for us. But this gives us an opportunity to come together for this next week or so until we have to play again.
All right, thank you guys. You can return to the locker room. We'll take questions for Coach Howard. We'll start here on the front left with Zach.
Coach, I guess circling back to Xavier Johnson, he didn't really play much in that first half because he had foul trouble. What all did he kind of change in terms of the calculus of trying to defend Indiana when he was back in there in the second half?
Well, his energy truly helped the team in a lot of ways on both sides of the ball. Whether on the defensive end, he was, up, being active, aggressive, trying to be disruptive as much as possible, which, give him credit, he was effective with that. Offensively, like you heard from one of our players, he did a really good job of reading the defense, where he was picking his spots on when there was chance, when the guys went under on screens, he took the shot. When there was opportunities where he can get in the paint, whether he was trying to make a layup for himself, if that wasn't open, he was throwing a lob to Trace. And when those two, in any type of ball screen action, just like we practiced, just like we talked about, just like we watched on film, they're extremely effective.
Okay, we'll go to the front row to Jim. Again, please state your name and affiliation.
Jim Coyle, Indiana Sports Beat. Coach, at the 11:02 mark, Indiana would go on a 28-4 run. Trace Jackson Davis only had 5 points in the first half. He would have 19 in the second half. Hunter, only 2 points in the second half. What was the difference that allowed Indiana to do that, and the change between those two games, between those two players?
Well, when it came to the second half for us, down that stretch at 11:02 mark, the game was changed with their aggressiveness. And they came out earlier in the second half, which we talked about at halftime, knowing and expecting that this team was going to, first, not quit, but secondly, of course, be more aggressive, whether they were trying to, score in the paint. We talked about taking away the drive, whether they were trying to shoot open shots, talked about contesting every shot without fouling. But give Trace, give the coach credit. They were able to get some opportunities where he can score. I thought at times we were not as aggressive enough defensively, where we could have taken away some of those easy buckets by him. Then also, in the second half, our turnovers. Every time we turned the ball over, they got opportunities to score off that. Second half defensive breakdown, allowing the team to shoot 55.6%. When we held them to 37.9% in the first half, those are teachable moments where we will go back as a team, regroup, watch it on film, and take accountability of it.
We'll go to Jeff in the front row, then over to Coley on the right-hand side.
Jeff Rabjohns, Pigs.com. Coach, you obviously big man play incredibly well. What did you see from Trace Jackson Davis in the second half, and what is it about him that gives him the capability of turning in such impactful performances?
Well, I watched him, now this is my third year, and being coached against him and seeing his growth, it says a lot about the young man and also about his willingness to improve on each year. But it also says a lot about him, from a second half standpoint. First half, he wasn't as active and wasn't getting the scoring opportunities that he probably wanted. Plus, give credit to our guys defensively. They were fighting, clawing, and making everything tough for him. Like I said before, when they went on that run, that's when I felt our guys sort of like, it was more of a little doubt with our guys. And then as far as with that run, it took away that defensive disposition that we had prior to the run.
We'll go to Coley on the right-hand side.
Coley Harvey, ESPN. Coach, you mentioned a lot of the teachable moments from that second half. What about for yourself? from a coaching standpoint, what do you think you can learn and grow from as well?
Oh, yeah. You know, first one, it starts with teachable moments. And I wasn't direct earlier, but it starts with me. You know, I take full accountability. I'm never the one that's going to deflect or point the finger. So it starts with me here, going back and, you know, as we take, whether it's tonight, I'm sure it's going to be tonight. I'm going to watch film, and it's going to be a lot of sleeping moments where I have a lot of disturbance in my sleep because I'm going to be playing every play, after every play on how I could have done better and putting them in the position, what I could have done better to secure this victory for us. What did I do wrong? You know, it's always, I'm going to look myself in the mirror first.
We'll go to the right-hand side. Just 2 more questions.
Gina Trotman, WXYZ Detroit. This kind of goes off of that question as well, but you were so emotional yesterday in your press conference, being able to come back to your team, and then the first half today followed by the second. How are you feeling after kind of the up and down of everything that you've gone through?
You know, I appreciate you asking that question, and you know, I'm human. You know, I have feelings. I care. I would not stop caring. It's been an emotional ride. You know, did I get sleep last night? No. But I love teaching. I love coaching. I love being here. I miss being with my guys. And you know, yesterday I got an opportunity to sit in front of the media and see some familiar faces that I hadn't seen in 2 weeks. And I thought that was great, just to be back and enjoy and take all those questions and get that connection back. But now it's roll up our sleeves, stay dialed into the competition, and continue to grow as a player, as a coach, and also as a person.
We'll take one last question.
Juwan, kind of going off that, I mean, you always say, you know, next game, you're one game at a time kind of coach. You don't know when or where your next game will be. Do you, I guess, how do you feel about your chances of playing in the Ncaa tournament?
Well, I'm not in charge of the selection committee, but I would say this: our guys put themselves in a position to have an opportunity, and I'm going to pray. Prayer wars are going to be open. I'm going to wait on Sunday with our players and see where the chips fall at the end. But at the end of the day, you know, whatever is decided, I'm still proud of, you know, how this team, coaches, the Michigan family has banded together. And we talk about family. We don't use that word loosely, but a family was challenged throughout the year, and I love how we been able to stay connected through those times.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you. Stay safe.